Yes, guy in a red hoodie asking you, should you buy a Rolex in 2024? Why am I doing this episode? Why? Because I'm bored, I suppose. No, because I've been watching some content and I love these watch channels. When they were in the infancy, was talking about Rolex, couldn't see enough praises about them. And now because sort of, they've got a lot of good loyal following and power to them, not talking down on them, that they're sort of almost forgetting their roots and they're rubbishing the very brand that's got them a lot of clicks and views. And they're like, oh, well, don't buy Rolex. Because let's face it, no one cares if you're wearing a Rolex. I thought that was rather cheap shot because people do care, but just about how do they care? In what way do they care? And for me, I don't care. Oh, sorry, too many cares in this sentence. I buy a watch for what I like that watch to be. But that's me. But there are people out there that buys watches because they care what other people think about their watch. And power to those folks too. Because the way I see it, the more people that get into this hobby, a very privileged first world hobby, the better. Because that enriches the community. It sort of validates why we do what we do, okay? There is a bit of ego at play, of course there is. But a Rolex has made its mark, not because of just false marketing. They made their mark due to some very high profile marketing and brilliant thinking, but their product is great. It's a beautiful, beautiful product. Are they overcharging it? Absolutely. But hey, find a comparable product. Well, some of you smart ass, they're watching this now. You go, oh yeah, but I can buy the other. But find a comparable product with the heritage it has. And you probably struggle. Someone will say, well, Omega's been there a lot longer than Rolex and they were more powerful. Yes, but they just don't execute it like Rolex do. Look, I'm wearing a G-Shock today, but I own quite a few Rolexes, probably 6, 7 Rolexes. One of the reasons why I do own that many is because it's still a watch that people respect when it comes to value, even if it's below retail. It will still hold its value better than any other watch brand. Talking about the mainstream here, we're not talking about the freaking McLaren, the special edition McLaren, that is Patek and all that sort of stuff. I'm talking about general luxury brands. So should you buy one in 2024? If you really like that watch and you've been looking at it for a very long time and you can afford it, get it. Be a little bit careful now because you can get some beautiful examples today in the grey market for below retail. It's different strokes for different folks. You might be someone who's bathing in money and just go, I don't care, I'm just gonna splurge and have that beautiful boutique experience and drink champagne and build up a relationship so when that red Rolex comes along, my name gets called up. Because guess what, there are still some models in Rolex that is very difficult to get and it's still above retail. I myself buy most of the pieces that I can afford secondhand, but I have been collecting for a very long time, guys. I've been collecting since 2000, so that's 24 years. First time I heard about Rolex was when I was 5 in communist China in the 1980s. We were poor, but my grandfather had a very old Rolex. I believe it would have been a very old Oyster Perpetual Datejust. Watches didn't mean anything to me, but one thing was instilled on me. But grandfather had this one watch, and it's a special thing, and it's a Rolex. Like, can you imagine a little kid with his booger hanging out of his nose in the early 80s to even learn about Rolex in that manner and fashion, knowing that this was a special item? So heritage. What other brand can have that power? Not many, guys, not many. So should you buy a Rolex in 2024? Well, it depends if you can afford it. If you can, do it. If you can't, save up. But I think if you really love watches, everybody should own one Rolex. It is a juggernaut in our industry, and the industry wouldn't be what it is without it. So I wanted to get this little opinion piece out there. You can agree or disagree. All our content is unscripted. Things literally come out as I think it or we think it and we say it, but it comes from a well-meaning place to try to give you meaningful content in terms of what we do as a hobby, and that's watch collecting.